Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a timeless and collective reading. So whenever this reading finds its way to you is the right time. Keep in mind it's a general reading. So see what signs, symbols, messages, and energies resonate for you in your particular situation. Hopefully help bring you a little clarity on whatever you're wondering. It could broaden your perspective, narrow your focus, help you see something with fresh eyes in a new way, in a new light. But in the end, always trust yourself that divine inner guidance is inside of you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so that your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the messages from your animal spirit guides. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ Consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the opening foundational energy, message, insight, and wisdom for the collective, please and thank you. The domestic cat. So this energy is where you're getting ready to do something on your own. This is nice. This is you leaving the comfort zone, but also finding a new comfortable place in unusual territory, or doing something unusual with yourself. It's you venturing out, trying something on your own. Maybe you're just going out by yourself for lunch, for dinner. Maybe you're starting a project on your own, starting a home business. For some of you, maybe you're like ready to single and mingle, but I feel like you feel really good on your own here. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others. I kind of see like a few of you wanting to go out with some friends, and your friends are sort of busy, or not really, like, I don't know, not really accepting the invitation, and you're just like, it's okay, I'm gonna go out on my own. I kind of see that with some of you. Maybe you're gonna meet some new friends when you're out and about, or just discover a really cool place, maybe a little, even like personal little use spot where you can even just feel good being someplace by yourself. That doesn't have to be in a public place. It can be a park bench, somewhere in the wilderness or nature. I'm kind of getting that maybe there's somebody who's like not accepting an invitation, but I feel like you're being okay with that. Maybe in the past you weren't. I just kind of see somebody doing like, whatever, gonna go anyway. So, I mean, this is nice. If you are over dependent on anybody to do anything that comes back to something you want to do, it's releasing that energy and bringing that energy back to you. So let's go to something else. Let's see what this is about. I just think about how different cats are. Like, some cats are really comfortable in their home and they never go outside, and that is their space. And then there's other cats that are like indoor, outdoor cats, and when they're outside, you don't really know what they're doing. You don't know really where they are or what they're discovering, but they're still in territory that they are comfortable with. So I kind of see that. I know it's more of a metaphor, but if you were more of like an indoor cat before, or you had certain things that you were doing that were very consistent in your schedule, in what you do, I see you becoming the outdoor cat. Just sort of pushing the boundaries of where you go a little bit. And I feel you, maybe at first it's kind of new and you're like, I don't know what's over there, I don't know what's over there, I don't know what I'm like over here. But I feel you becoming more comfortable with a wider, I don't know, like a wider arena. So I am getting that you're going to discover a new place, or you're discovering something new about you, because your territory or possibly your partnerships are going to be different. So let's see. This is the messages from your angels. Let's get an angel message, please, and thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we have Bethany. So yeah, you're doing something on your own. You're taking really good care of yourself. I feel like some of you are even getting your hair done, getting your nails done, buying yourself something really comfortable that you like to wear, you feel really good in. This Bethany looks really sassy here. I'm also getting that maybe some of you, side note, are doing something and you feel so good, you kind of want to take a selfie. Even if it's just to sort of put a moment to where you are and how you feel in that moment. Maybe not necessarily a glam shot. I feel like it's something more natural. When you take excellent care of your body, everybody benefits. It's not giving from an empty plate, especially if there's people who are maybe over dependent on you. This is you having the strength. Sometimes maybe it's the opposite, and everybody always wants you to go out, wants you to do something, wants you to handle something. You have to go there. Can you pick me this, something up at the store? Sometimes it's okay to say no. You're busy, you have some plans, you have something else you want to do. So maybe this goes both ways. For some of you, maybe you're doing something on your own where it doesn't really matter what it is, but maybe you're saying no to a group or a person or a crowd. I feel like it's just bringing something back into balance. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as, hey, side note, you get a little message from the angels. They want you to have a massage. They want you to have a massage, take a salt bath, or get a pedicure, a manicure. Just anything. Something special for you. Like a little treat. Not a have-to thing. Something that, you know what? You're going to do this for yourself. Why not? And I feel like you're going to feel really good afterwards. I am almost getting you're even going to want to show something off, whether that's how you feel, how your hair looks, where you were when you're out and about and doing your own thing. I see somebody taking a really nice nature walk. I don't know if that's like a hardcore hike or just sort of like a stroll in nature. It could even be in your city or your town. It doesn't have to be in nature. But I feel like you feel natural. So let's just kind of bounce around a little bit here. And then I feel like maybe we should do a tarot spread today. So this is the wisdom of the oracle. What else would be helpful right now for the collective to know on taking excellent care of yourself? Time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. I'm thinking of baseball because of the strike, but I feel like you're hitting a home run. So, I don't know, maybe something takes a couple of tries. I always feel like that stepping up to bat energy is usually the hardest step, taking the first couple steps. Let's see. One message, please, and thank you. Truth be told, yeah, you're opening your heart to something. Inside here, when you open your heart, when you be more open-minded, when you open yourself up, you're going to be discovering new territory. I feel like this is that open door, open window. Like new horizons that are waiting for you. But it could be that you need to tell the truth to somebody if you need some space. It could also be that the truth is coming towards you in a certain situation you were unclear about, but whatever this is, it's a 14, so it's like temperance. It is going to bring something back into balance. It feels like it does overwhelm your heart, but I feel like it makes your heart feel more free, whatever this truth is. Sometimes the unknowing is way harder than just knowing the truth. Because then you can redirect your attention, redirect your energy, know how to make a decision, know what you have to do once you know, or once you get clarity. So that might be with someone, but it might be just seeing your situation clear. What you can do with what's in front of you and where you are now. I do see somebody taking off their mask, and I feel like it's gonna put you into this energy of wisdom with the owl. So let's see, it could take a lot of courage to accept things at face value. But I feel like if you have communication coming in, even if it's just communicating with yourself, maybe when you're taking care of yourself, doing your own thing, maybe you get new ideas. You gain new clarity on a situation that when you were in the muck or in the situation or in the drama or in the chaos, or I hear like chaos, confusion. I see a lot of energy, almost like a big crowd of people in a concert, but I usually get visions as metaphors, so that could just be how the energy feels. You could feel that way around one person. But I am getting that you're going to gain some clarity when you're out and about on your own. But I'm also getting you're going to gain some clarity about a situation through conversation. So I kind of want to get one more from this deck. Let's get one more from the Wisdom of the Oracle. What is one more message to be helpful for the collective right now on the domestic cat, Bethany, and truth be told? All that glitters. So you're going to figure out that something around you might have sparkled like it was gold, but it really wasn't. Something maybe you were putting your attention into. That could be a person, place, thing, environment, whatever it is. It's almost like you put too much value in something and you weren't getting the reciprocal energy back. So maybe that's where you're seeing the truth in a situation. All that glitters. But that goes both ways too. Sometimes something looks really rough on the surface. You know, it's like the book that has the tattered, torn cover. There's nothing beautiful about it. But then you open up that book and it's the most beautiful story you ever read. So either way with this card, it's like the two sides of a coin. You have to flip past the cover page and get more into a story, get more into a relationship, get more into a conversation, or see more about an environment to know the truth of what it is. So trust your discernment, but also if the energy does feel right, or if there's something that makes you more curious, there's something that makes you want to turn the page again, especially if you want to turn it again. And again, get more into that story. Give something a chance. Maybe give somebody a chance. You know, something might not have been as it appeared on the surface, and that goes both ways. And in both of those cards, you have masks. You have a mask here, and you have two here. So it might be that somebody around you was putting on a front, putting on a mask. But masks can come in many forms. People can put on masks because they want their best light to be seen, or they want themselves to, you know, come across as shiny, even if maybe they're deep. But sometimes people put on a mask of, I'm getting like toughness, or like a hard exterior, because, you know, maybe they have some boundaries up. Maybe they're a little concerned or afraid of somebody getting too close to see their softer side. So I see whatever this is, whatever conversation comes through, I do see a mask coming off. And a heart opening up, and you seeing a situation for what it is. So see beyond the superficial. Don't be presumptuous about anything. But if that page, you know, looks a little off right away, and it's like red flag, something's not right in that environment or with your connection with the person, trust that. Maybe that's where you have that energy of saying no, like not right for me. And then I feel like you just move along. I don't feel like you're getting stuck on a page here. So let's see. Let's go to maybe one more oracle. I brought this Sassy Mermaid deck. So let's do one from the Mermaid, the Oracle of the Mermaids. And then let's jump into the tarot and see what's going on. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Hold on, I gotta pause you one moment. And that was my sister. I like to continue these readings once I start, but sometimes I have distractions that happen around me, so 'tis life. Let's continue. Let's go to the Oracle of the Mermaids and get a message for you guys. What does the collective need to know right now to be helpful? Some mermaid guidance, please, and thank you. Vulnerability. I did see somebody's heart opening up here and a mask coming off. So this vulnerability, I feel like it's going to take and show a lot of strength. So maybe vulnerability is not easy for someone. That could be you or that could be someone else. Sometimes people are taught to have that hard shell because it is not strong, you know, to show emotions or to show how it's like sensitivities. But I feel like whatever maybe conversation is coming through is somebody feels like they can be vulnerable around you, or you feel like there is a certain person you're meeting where you can feel vulnerable around them. This is a really beautiful picture. I did say when this came out, open your heart. The first message here is open up your heart and allow yourself to be tender. I feel like somebody's got you. Somebody's gonna help you breach the surface, see the light in a situation, like lift you up somehow. This is number 39, so it does take you to a 12. So you are going to see something with that hangman, completely 180 difference of perspective. You never saw something before, but you also might have to take a pause, allow yourself some time to reflect. But once you stand up again, once this clarity comes through, I'm getting that you just want to see the truth of a situation, and that makes everything so much easier than just the not knowing. So maybe somebody has kept you in the dark for a while. They had to take some time to really get the strength to be soft. Open up your heart and allow yourself to be tender. But I am getting the opposite for some of you. If you feel like there's a situation and you've opened up your heart and you feel really sensitive, but that has never been reciprocal or understood, or you've been misunderstood or not treated like in the best way, then I feel like you are gaining your strength to be firm. I'm getting soft and hard energies today with this reading. So let's see what this is all about. I have the Sacred Rose Tarot. Let's do a spread. Let's see what's going on. Get some clarity for you guys. So let's see what the foundational energy is that you're at right now, or you need to have the biggest awareness of. What is the foundational energy for the collective right now? Please and thank you. This world, that's really big. This is really beautiful. I feel like whatever clarity comes through, whatever comes through to open your heart, helps you change a cycle, helps you move towards that Fool energy where you're ready for something new. You're ready for new territory. This is you becoming not just an outside cat, being a cat that like wants to travel the world or wants to change your world somehow. This is a big, beautiful ending. This is an ending that feels better. And it feels exciting to turn that chapter. But you have to be willing to let something go. You have to be willing to make these changes. You have to be willing to step into brand new territory. You have to be willing to discover more about yourself you never knew, or more about someone else or a certain environment that you never knew. You have to be open after this to the new, and you have to be open to let go of the old. Sometimes I see the world as also you connecting with other people in the world. So that could be via something you're doing online. Maybe you some of you could be doing online dating too, or finding a group online, even if you take it out of online and do some kind of meetup where I see that mix and mingle with others. Or maybe just one person in particular. And I also see when the world comes through as sometimes it's traveling to different parts of the world, or expanding your world somehow. So let's see what the bridge or the block is for you guys. What is the bridge or block on the energy of the world, this gigantic, beautiful ending that you are ready to have or going to get to have? And you're going to do it with confidence with the Queen of Wands. This could be somebody inspiring you to make some changes in your life. This is tapping into that beautiful feminine energy that I feel like she has such a nice combo of masculine and feminine, even though she's a queen. She could be the CEO. She's like really, really sexy. She's confident to be on stage amongst a group. She's confident to do something independent on her own. The Queen of Wands is very inspiring to others. She's just got this little twinkle in her energy, in her light, the way she is. Whether it's her personality, whether it's the way she expresses herself, there's just something when the Queen of Wands walks into a room she's just noticed. Her energy is felt, and she always wants others to shine. She's very like confident on giving honest, authentic compliments to others, to try to boost others to see the beautiful light inside of them. She likes to give others a chance, even if they're not so confident, to try something, because she always recognizes potential in others. She's not afraid of anything being stripped away from her, because she knows there is an abundance of everything in the world. There's enough for everybody. Unless she's upside down, then she believes she's always going to be taken off her stage, that her starring role is going to be stripped by the next new best thing that comes. So she acts without integrity. She acts with lack of confidence. She even sometimes gossips and puts down others because she's recognizing a different vibration in her that she usually doesn't want to see, and noticing that reflection in others. So the people she will attract upside down are also other gossips. They're also other people that put other people down. They're probably people that also want to use her, because she still has a beautiful light. She still has something that sparkles even upside down. But it's people that want to use her sparkle for their own good. You know, just to be seen with the popular person, to be seen with the celebrity, to make their light seem a little brighter. But then there's no authenticity in that relationship. Upright, she's so authentic. She's so amazing. It's also the energy of it's the energy of a fire sign. So fire is spirit. It's creativity. It's expansion. It's adventure. It's excitement. It's passion. So it could be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, but it doesn't have to be. But I do see this as whatever you're doing, you're having a lot of confidence in your independence. But no matter what gender you are with that queen, it's knowing when to be the pursuer, because she can be a pursuer. If she's into someone or she wants something, she knows how to go after it. And she usually gets it. But she does it in her own way. It's not always aggressive. It can be very subtle. But that queen also knows how to sit back and let it come to her, because she knows what she deserves. So it's knowing the difference and knowing when you have to, you know, which side you got to put on at which moment. So let's see what your higher self is telling you right now on this brand new journey, this newfound confidence, and this opening of your heart and clarity of the reality of a situation. What does the collective need to know from your higher self or from the divine? That it's going to bring you back into balance with justice. This is big. Some of you could be dealing with the justice system, waiting for a decision. Maybe that is where this brand new start begins. Just because usually with the justice I see is there's a big decision somewhere that has to be made, whether it's a contract, whether it's by the courts, whether it's in your own life, whether it's between you and someone else or you and yourself. It feels so uncomfortable before that decision is made. But sometimes it takes some time to weigh something out, to learn to see the higher perspective of something, to learn to have an objective view of something. So this brings fairness all around. But sometimes you can't get that fairness until you have the clarity, because you can't make a decision and not know half the story. Upside down, this is where it's imbalanced. This is also making a decision that's either only for selfish reasons or only thinking about everyone else and not being vulnerable and truthful with what you really want. Therefore, if a decision's made and it's for everyone else's good and not yours, and you're comfortable with the decision for out there but not inside here, you're always going to feel uncomfortable. This usually means that something's going to come through in your favor. That energy of worry or not knowing before will be dissipated and smoothed out. So don't get lost in the worry. If you just have to wait for something, it will come through. You're going to get the clarity you need, and it's going to bring stuff back into balance in your world. It's going to bring you back into balance. But either way, you have to tap into your higher self and then ground that energy in reality. You have to see both sides. It might mean that with this blindfold, you can't see everything all the time. That blindfold won't stay on forever, but you have the scales in one hand and you have the sword of truth in the other hand, your communication in the other hand. Which one is in which? So you have to use your sword of communication. You have to use your words wisely. You have to use the way you go about communicating with how you deliver the information more than what the information is. You might have to cut some things away that are no longer serving you in this reality or your highest and greatest good. But you also have to receive this energy of vulnerability. You're balancing that beautiful rose, which is like the sacred rose. It is something that is opening up, unfolding. But you also have the heart here. Usually it's a feather and a heart. But your scales are balanced. It could also be a Libra energy, and it's an 8. So that is the number of manifestation. Let's see what you need to know to ground this energy to move forward. What does the collective need to know on a grounding energy, please? So to ground this energy, you have this 5 of Wands. You have to look at what's outside of you as far as competition. Realize that you don't compete with where you don't compare. Competition can also be really healthy. Let's just say, for example, this queen is an actress and she never had any competition at all for that starring role. So she never really studied her lines, or she was always just kind of given something, never put the energy or the effort into it. It wouldn't be the same value when you actually receive the role, and it wouldn't be the same kind of dedication than when you really want something. Sometimes competition is a good thing. It could be somebody is competing against you because you shine so bright here. It could be that somebody is competing against you with your decisions you're making moving forward or decisions you made in the past. Sometimes this is too many cooks in the kitchen, too many opinions at the table, and nobody being on the same team. You know, this coming into balance is where everyone wants to work together and there's fairness for all. But if you are having this energy where there is not fairness somewhere in your world, you are the one that needs to change. Either get yourself out of the situation or look at it as a blessing. Sometimes people need a little pusheroo, a little healthy competition to keep you on your toes, to keep you expanding and growing, and also to really appreciate when you get something. Because if it's just always given, there's not the same kind of appreciation for it. But this could be energies around you that notice how talented you are, how much you have potential in a certain area. So they don't let you win because they're going to keep you on your toes. They want to see you grow. They want to see you get better. So you have to recognize that this is unhealthy or healthy competition around you. The healthy kind is good because it's where you keep expanding. But this could be you competing with yourself in a good way or not. You could be getting in your own way, self-doubting yourself. That wouldn't be this Queen of Wands energy. You know, comparing past situations or really taking on too many opinions of others and not being solid with your own. Almost like, I don't know, you don't really believe in all those opinions, but everyone must believe it, so that has to be true, right? And then you always have that questioning going on inside of you. Trust yourself. But if this is you giving yourself your own little pusheroo, you might need to do that. It's kind of like going to the gym. You're not really going to the gym with a buddy. You're not really on a big team or anything. You just want to do more squats than you did last week and have it be a little bit easier. So it can be your own little push in something so you grow. You're giving yourself your own goals. You know, it's okay to be a little hard on yourself and give you a little bit of something you have to work towards, because it does get easier and you do grow and you do develop and you do expand because of it. So it does look like two people were wrestling. But it's interesting, you can see this card different ways. This one person is keeping themselves on this gate with strength. It's like either this person is trying to get them off of that fence, that could be metaphorically, or actually get off the fence on a decision, but maybe that forceful energy is not going to work. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's the relaxed approach. But it could also be that this person is stuck, and this person comes through with the right amount of strength to help them get out of a situation that they just felt like they had to be stuck on. I feel like if that person stayed in that position too long, no matter how strong they are, it's going to start to get uncomfortable and numb. You know, like you can do something where you lift a lot of weights and it's really hard, but sometimes the holding your leg up for a long period of time, you don't think that's doing much, but eventually it's like, ooh, it's getting heavier. That's getting heavier. That's getting heavy. That's hard now. So I feel like maybe that's a situation where it looked easy, but maybe something got heavy. Somebody got stuck, and there's some kind of energy coming through as a little kind of friction or push to unhinge something, but I feel like it's in a good way. So let's look at what the past energy is. What is the past energy for the collective, please, and thank you. The past energy is beautiful, or this is what you're looking at as what you desire. This is all, you have a lot of balanced energy coming back in. So maybe you're looking at the situations where you were balanced, saw how something had to change, because this 5 is a change to bring balance back in. If this is upside down, this is coming from a place where it was imbalance, overgiving, or taking too much without appreciation. It's imbalance somewhere. It's sometimes imbalance in your world, in your schedule. Doing way too much in one arena or with one person. You have all these other things you're thinking about doing, but you never quite get to it. Sometimes this is a gift. Somebody giving their time and their attention, their love, something in the physical world to help you. So when this is here, if someone was giving you a gift of their time, it does look like you got the world here. So maybe when your world is expanding, it also looks like you're on a boat. It's like almost like the sail. So maybe there's help out there in the world if you just expand your world a little bit. But you do have to be vulnerable with that 6 of Pentacles and be open to receive when it's there. If your arms are crossed, you're not receptive to it, and you think you have to do everything your way because that's the way it always had to be, or that's what you were told, or that's the way it always worked out, and you never give it a little bit of a give to see, maybe it would be helpful. Maybe somebody has a different way of doing something you never thought of. Maybe somebody can just offer you a helping hand. But that goes the other way. You could be the one helping someone else in need. But you have to have the discernment and the vulnerability of energy to see if somebody is open to it or not. That's that you can lead a horse to water. It can be a beautiful fountain right there, but if the horse isn't going to drink the water, they're not going to drink the water. So sometimes it's leading by example, and sometimes it's letting something go until it is ready to be received. Let's see what you're going towards in your immediate future. So this would be like kind of in the next few days, energy you might be around. What does the collective need to know about energy in the next few days to have awareness of, please and thank you? The 7 of Cups. So In the next few days, there might be a little bit of confusion. You might have to choose between, it's like the moon here. Sometimes this is, it's like standing at the grocery store and not knowing what to choose, you know, or this could be somebody else, just kind of, that's that staying on the fence kind of situation. But you can't stay on that fence too long. Sometimes you get so wrapped up in emotions or being so vulnerable that it's a stagnant energy or a stalling energy. You just don't want to choose, because what if you choose wrong? You choose wrong, you choose wrong. That's why we live. Or that's why we're here to live, to learn. So hopefully we choose right, you know. And sometimes you choose right away when you look at the objective point of view of something, you look at where there's reciprocal energy, you see what feels best. But sometimes people are strayed from the right choice because of outside circumstances or opinions and such. So I like that spaghetti sauce example. It's like you're in this grocery store, you know, you have to go get some spaghetti sauce, and then you stand there and you're like, oh, there's like 25, 30 different kinds of spaghetti sauces. I just wanted that one. And you look at the one, it's really cheap. And you look at the other one, it's like, that's really expensive. I don't know if I should spend so much on spaghetti sauce. And that one I can get in bulk, so I could get like 25 of them. But what if you get the bulk one and now you have 25 spaghetti sauces at home and you don't like it? Every time you open up that thing, you don't even enjoy it. Maybe you saved a little money, but was it worth it? Or you could have the one that was maybe higher in value, but then you savor it. And then sometimes you get that one that you love and you find it on sale, and that's when you get 25 of them. It's having that kind of adjustment. But to stand there and not choose at all and go home with no spaghetti sauce at all, you sort of always feel like you're empty. You never really accomplished something that was that check that you put on your list to do. So why go out at all? You didn't even come home with what you wanted. But sometimes you have to make that wrong choice to know, I won't ever get that kind again. Live and learn, do it different next time. So it's okay. There always has to be some kind of flexibility with the Seven of Cups. There has to be like deleting of choices, and sometimes you're just right. Sometimes there's just that one choice that just twinkles different and you just know. So it looks like, I don't know, this person has all these cups in their hands, all these things they're trying to hold on to, all these emotions, these feelings. And it's like these other hands are coming in and just trying to pull them away. It's really weird. This card, I forgot how weird these cards are. So it's almost like someone's trying to pull out somebody's emotions before they're ready, or before they're comfortable with it, before they really know how they feel. But it looks like somebody hears the higher perspective. They have the moon, so they understand the cycles of release and new chapters. And they're making an offer that looks like it's balanced between masculine and feminine. It might be two offers that you have, but this person has to turn around to see that there's someone here that's not forcing them to do something. So that could be how someone else feels. I don't know, you know, whenever you see a card and there's different people in there, you can see how you can be placed in one position, another position, another position. Or it just gives you a perspective on the position someone else is in. It does look like somebody is struggling with their emotions a little bit, or their situation a little bit. Like something's just ready to, you know, when you have your emotions and they're bottled up and then at the wrong place, they just kind of come out. It's like that, but it's like somebody's trying to force that out of them before they're ready or comfortable. And then there's someone here that's just doing an offer of something that looks like pretty fulfilling, but then it looks like this offer, you know, maybe they're only offering one, and then it's a balance between these two. Maybe they're offering two and it's giving you balance, but you have to let something go to get that balance. You have to change your perspective on something to know, or somebody else does. So let's see what the advice for your overall energy you need to know is. overall energy for the collective is you have to see something in a new perspective. I pulled this on your energy. So the Eight of Swords is the belief that you're stuck. The belief that you can't get out of something. The belief that your uncomfortable comfort zone or the cat inside the house and not expanding territory is where you're supposed to be. Whether that's a belief that you have because of experiences in your life, or it's a belief that you have because of what someone else told you. But this person is not stuck. All they need to do is change their perception upon their surroundings or their situations to see that the power was in them all along, to make the adjustments needed to have freedom. This person has this crystal ball. They have this orb of energy to foresee something, but the blinders are on and they're not looking at it. They're not looking at the possibilities of what could happen in the future or possibilities of that ball of change. They're not even looking at how these swords aren't really even trapping them in. And, oh, I like this one. Usually the person is in ropes. This person is not. So you are not even being tied down. You also have this ball on your higher self, giving you the awareness and the internal navigation to know that there has to be a different way through. Maybe you just have to wait for that clarity, or wait for someone to be vulnerable, to know, to see the whole picture, so that then you can make different choices or make the choice you need to make. Maybe it was just staying stuck in a situation before you got that clarity, or before you really felt like you could open your heart, or felt like somebody else could open their heart to you. But this particular card is different. It's different than Eight of Swords, and I like that you got it, because this person has their hand on two swords. They don't even have a blindfold. It's just their hair got in their way. So it's just the winds of change needed to come. I'm gonna blow their hair a little bit different, be like, oh man, I couldn't see for like a hot minute. So I don't think this is a long-term situation that felt stuck. And I feel like it's a quick change once it's seen a different way. It looks like you are ready to make the change, because you have your hand on both swords. So you're taking yourself out of the situation. It does look like the swords are sort of piercing, not the person, but the clothing. So maybe you have to use that sword and rip your clothes a little bit. I know that sounds really weird. Sometimes that means you have to let go of your favorite thing. Maybe those ripped clothes start to look really sassy and you start a trend. I mean, you do have the Queen of Wands. She would go out with a ripped dress, and all of a sudden the next day everyone would have a ripped dress on. But maybe it's that you had to let something go that you kind of liked. Maybe it also didn't fit you so well before. And there's always a way to maybe sew it up or replace it. But you have the tools you need to do whatever you need to do to figure out the way out. Even if it's not really the way you wanted it to go about, it feels better when you're not stuck on something anymore. It's always that being stuck on the merry-go-round, and it never stops. It's just kind of going around and around and around and around. You never have that little break. Whatever comes through, whatever way you see that is a change, gives you balance, and it's gonna feel like freedom. So let's see what the energy around you is. So this could be your environment or a specific person or people around you. What is the awareness of the environment the collective needs to know? Please and thank you. Clarity. You're going to have that conversation. You're going to know when it's right. You're going to receive clarity. You're going to say no to something if you have to say no to something. You're going to say yes to something if you want to say yes to something. The truth is going to come out. You have this big sword here. You now know how to use it. This conversation or this clarity in yourself is a gift. And it's going to be what helps you start something brand new, because an ace is always a new start. So either it's clarity that now you can start fresh, start right, start on a clean slate, let bygones be bygones, or start fresh somewhere else, new, different, clear. I also see this sometimes as a really clear idea, like a big light bulb going off. Like the light is turned on. So when that light bulb, that idea goes off, you have to maybe take this idea, put these plans into action, write something down, write that business plan down. If you have even an idea of what you want to say to a person, but you really don't know how to handle all those emotions that you're feeling, sometimes this is writing a letter to yourself about someone else, but not sending it. Just sort of write something down so you become more clear on all that you are feeling and all that you are thinking and the merge between the two. That conversation, when it comes through, may go nothing like you thought. It could be completely different, but it still gives you a better energy of grounding what you may want to say, or at least how you feel before you get there. Because upside down, this is being unclear about what you want to say. It's being in that conversation, it goes the wrong way. It's not using your keen perception on how to say something, not what's being said, the delivery. So let's see what your hopes and or your fears are about where you're moving towards, please and thank you. Hopes and fears of the collective. Yeah, that would be it. That would definitely be a fear. Your hope or your fear is that vulnerable energy or opening your heart will bring pain. You know, this is where you feel heartache, you feel heartbreak. It's where you feel like, I don't know, you were taken advantage of. Sometimes it's where you feel like someone stabbed you in the back, or they didn't treat you with the care that you deserve. So if this is just a fear, you can't let this fear stop you. There's always the chance that being vulnerable and opening up your heart to love will bring hurtful moments, hurtful endings, hurt in general, because love is so big that when it's lost, or when something goes awry, or when something doesn't right, or you don't connect, it can hurt. But to not have any experiences, to not release yourself to the freedom where you could have, you know, this beautiful clarity between you and someone else, or uncover gorgeous chapters in a book that you just looked at the cover for so long because maybe one of the chapters or one of the paragraphs or one of the parts of it involves this, you never get through the story. It's also having moments like this that really truly make you grow. You know, without that heartbreak, without understanding those deep, beautiful parts of yourself when you love someone or something. This doesn't have to be a relationship. This can be letting go of an old dream you had. This can be letting go of a home you loved, having to move somewhere else. This can be letting go of a job that you maybe didn't even love anymore, but you were at for 25 years and it was what you knew. And now what you do, it feels like a loss. That's what you went to school for. That's what you've done your whole life. Now what? Heartbreak can come through so many different forms, but it's a part of the human experience. And this is where we really learn a lot about ourselves. This is where our spirituality really catapults. This is where we learn to have the clarity to say no and set boundaries for ourselves. When to not turn a page any longer or get beyond that merry-go-round longer than you have to be when you recognize it's not the right ride for you. I just thought of Emotional Rollercoaster by Vivian Green. I think that's the first song that came through today. But, oh my gosh, and I just heard the weirdest song. I don't even think I've heard that song in years. Is that Miley Cyrus's dad? Did he do Achy, Breaky, Heart? Don't ask me how that one just came through. But that song came through. I'll find that and I'll put it below. This is how we learn. This is also how we really appreciate when beautiful love is in our life and the chance to have another go. the chance to heal something, because upside down, this is healing. This is mending a heart. This is feeling better after heartbreak. This is looking back, knowing that you were really going through it at one point, but you feel good now. You don't really feel like that anymore. And how much time this takes? Different for every situation. So let's see what, as of now, the overall outcome is. I think it's that one, and I don't know what that is. It's like a big reveal to me. So the outcome is Lovers. We circle back. So, I mean, this is sort of beautiful. Here you're scared. Here you're willing to give it a try. Maybe it's a choice. Maybe you're scared that you do have that competition energy. So I don't think, always take what resonates for you. Not every part of every reading is for everyone. But maybe you felt like, for some of you, you do have this energy of the Five of Wands where it was competition. Maybe you felt like somebody, somebody else won in the past. You were the one left with a broken heart. Or maybe somebody else in the past chose wrong. You do have some clarity coming in. So it's going to be a different situation for all of you. Sometimes people have to make the wrong choice and be with the wrong person or work at the wrong career to know what's really right for them. And they would never have known how good they had it or how good it's going to be with the right person in the future if they didn't know what was not right. Without any kind of, real clarity from true experiences, it's always going to kind of feel like that person in the Seven of Cups sort of handling everything and not really knowing how to focus all that energy or all that emotion. Here it's a choice. So usually this is just between two people and an angel. Right now it does look like there's a choice between two different situations. So this comes to divine guidance, help from source. Sometimes there is a situation where you are blocked because it is a divine protection for you, because there's a better place for you. Sometimes there is a block because somebody else has to go through a situation, or you have to go through a situation first to learn a specific lesson, to learn to be in the right vibration, so when the right partner comes together, whether it's back to the same or someone new, that you're in the right energetic space to really feel like it's a divine partnership and not just a situationship. And there's always free will. The lover should be free. It should always be the freedom to choose. And hopefully in the most divine partnerships, two hearts are always going to choose each other. There can be temptation out there, and that doesn't matter. There's nothing will ever compare to what their heart feels, who their heart loves. There's not always a rhyme or a reason as to why it is a specific dynamic or person or connection. Sometimes it doesn't make sense on paper at all. It doesn't make sense to others at all. It doesn't have to. It only has to make sense to those two people involved. But it is possible that there is somebody trying to make sure there is fairness. Where's your thing? And justice in a situation if there is a third party here. It doesn't mean there won't be no heartache somewhere. But it does look like there is a chance for everybody to have a brand new chapter. For everybody to gain back their confidence and know what they deserve. I mean, if you're here and there's one person that doesn't want to be there, does this other person really want to stay where they're not really given that beautiful reciprocal energy of give and take because they're holding on to this fence so tightly until they become numb? Or do they want to let go and see? Because the divine always has a bigger plan than what we see when we're in a situation. Upside down, it is somebody holding on to someone, trying to make somebody feel a certain way. You know, and why would you want to make somebody, I can't make you love me. It's just that Bonnie Raitt just came through. That is a beautiful song. I can't make you love me. So each person here has to have their own sense of responsibility, their own truth of their heart and integrity, and believe in themselves, because every single person deserves to be loved the way they want to be loved. Sometimes it's not with the person you see in that moment, but there's someone out there. We are given so many chapters and so many opportunities. And if you don't believe that it's out there for you or that it can happen, then you need to be that cat that leaves their little house and expand your world. Because if you're not out there and about where you can meet someone, then how is it going to happen? Are you waiting for someone to come and knock on your door? Even if it's you and doing something online, if you want the chance to have love in your life and have a partnership, but you're doing nothing about being out there, or when you meet somebody never getting past that cover page, never sending a text or a phone call or giving your number out or seeing how it could expand, you're never going to know. Sometimes you meet somebody and it might not be somebody you ever thought you'd fall in love with, like not your type at all. And then you get to know them. And they become the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your entire life. But you have to have that open heart to know, to try. And I don't know if that's everybody's story, and it doesn't have to be about a partnership for all of you. This could be just you expanding your heart and something you love to do in something that makes your heart sing. A project you want to be working on. It's making decisions from the heart with the Lovers. It's a Gemini card. You know, some of you might be making a really big call on how to switch a career or to change where you work. And that free will comes back to you. Or do you want to wait for, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's someone else's choice too. If it's someone else deciding that you can't work there anymore. Or someone else deciding something for you because they don't want to be in that partnership anymore. It's all about how you react to those outside circumstances. Do you do it with grace? Do you do it with the energy of love and acceptance? Do you step back into your own position of power and do what you need to do? Not dependent on those outside sources? Or not? So, this ended up to be kind of a big message, guys. I can't see out here what this is at, but let's pull one more from the universe. Notes from the universe on love and connections. I hope this reading was helpful. Everybody's situation is different. Where we are in our situations is different. What's coming through in the future? What we went through in the past. And sometimes just messages come in just to give you insight all around on whatever's going on in your U-book, whether that was in the past, going on in the future, or right now. And sometimes messages come through to give you helpful insight on how somebody else is moving with that tapestry of energy that's going on. What is one message to sum this all up for the collective, please? And thank you. Love is never in vain. Where's that really harsh card? This one. Love is just love. When you finally see that this whole time-space thing, just thought of Back to the Future, is all about, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be so happy you loved as much as you did. Dottingly the universe. Because even the harsh ones, the beautiful ones, all of that, just to be loved It made me think of Nature Boy. That's a really beautiful song. Just to be loved and to be loved in return. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. But to love, just to love and ask for nothing back, is living love in its truth. And getting to have an experience, when you get it, be in it. See it as a blessing. Whether it's for a moment, and you get to learn a little more about yourself, or you get the blessing to have one that spans the rest of your life. Or for some of you, you might have someone in your life that you've met for lifetimes. And you will, again and again. And with this, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful to you. And you have a beautiful day, evening, afternoon. I love you so much.